the dividends that you're going to receive from this ETF. Can you believe, guys? If you invest this amount of money I'm going to show you, you can retire today and not that much money. Can you believe that? So this ETF I'm going to show you today is one of those ETFs I always talk about on this channel. Think Passive is all about investments, so you can invest your money and you can generate enough passive income that you can retire sooner rather than later. And I'm going to cover what it offers and how much you should invest for you to generate enough money for you to retire. If it's the first time, just make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss this type of update. And if you like this content, just make sure you smash that like button. YBTC, Bitcoin Cover Call Strategy ETF. This ETF is provided by Roundhill. So if you look at the full name of this one or full description of this YBTC, you realize in 30 cover call strategy that seeks to provide current income on a monthly basis while also providing exposure to price of Bitcoin. That's a full description of this ETF. So overview of this one. So the Roundhill Bitcoin Cover Call Strategy ETF, or YBTC, is the first US listed Bitcoin Cover Call ETF. So here they say the first US listed, because there are countries, for example, in Canada, these type of ETFs came like maybe 5 years ago. But in the US, this was the first one. The fund offers exposure to Bitcoin subject to a cap, because they write a call. So whenever the stocks over it's been called, so you're not gonna get the upside as much. Okay, while providing potential for higher current income, YBTC is actively managed. This is very important. It's actively managed, so it's not passively. Okay. If we look on this side here, we can see distribution right now is a 50.35 for Bitcoin ETF. That's a huge. And SEC yield right now, again, it's only 4.22. But we look at what's the reason you're gonna invest in this ETF. So there are three main compelling reasons. The first reason is high income potential. So YBTC seeks to generate monthly income through a cover call strategy on Bitcoin, while it has historically offered a significant option premium. Okay, that was the first reason. Second reason, exposure to Bitcoin, right? YBTC offers upside exposure to Bitcoin subject to a monthly cap, of course, because when they write those calls, so if it goes up to that strike price, they're gonna recall those shares, so you're not gonna get the biggest upside, right? Actively managed. So YBTC implements a cover call strategy, saving investors the time and expenses of trading options themselves. So instead of you having headache going selling call yourself, you can just use this one. It helps you it helps you with your time, and also most people don't have the knowledge to write a call, so this is gonna make a process easier. If we look at the fund details here, the ticker symbol is YBTC, and then primary exchange is SIBO. Management expense ratio is about 0.95. So with all the fees and everything like that, would be maybe over 1%. We look at AUM, asset under management, is 25 million. Quite a bit for fund like this. And then if you look at the launch date, it was incepted on January 18th 2024, and you can write an option on this ETF. Yes, and is active. Okay, management style is actively managed. We look at the holdings. The holdings here is a BITO. So BITO, what is BITO? BITO is an ETF. I'll show you here, guys. This is a ProShare Bitcoin Strategy ETF. So this is an ETF, one of those ETFs that have been approved by the SEC. So now they're going to short these guys here. This is an ETF. So the Roundhill ETF does short another ETF, which is investing in crypto or Bitcoin. So you can see most holdings are BITO. But again, this is synthetically. And then we look at the performance. We can see performance here. It doesn't have as much performance, but I'll show you performance here. If we go to this website here, we can see Roundhill Bitcoin Cover Call Strategy ETF. Look at that, guys. We look at 1 year, right? If we look at max, let's go to 1 month so we can see there. it hasn't done well. But look, if we look at the max, meaning this is the max from its inception, from the first day it started, which was January 18th, 2024. It was about like 40, 48, right? So about $50, right? So, but the price today is the same, 50.30. So that means even if you invest in this ETF, you haven't lost any money. But again, you've accumulated a lot of income if you invested from the beginning. So you haven't lost any money. In fact, actually, you're up a little bit and you have accumulated the income. So the 52-week range is 45.60 to 50. They went all the way almost to $60, right? Now, because a lot of people were saying, oh, these ETFs, they have, NAV erosion. For example, Tesla, I made a video a couple of days ago about Tesla, and people were saying, well, Tesla has, if you look at the graph, was really, really bad because it just has a downtrend. But this ETF like this one, it pays over 50%, but look at it hasn't lost any money. So your capital is still intact. In fact, you're getting more dividends. So if we go to distribution now, we look at the distribution. I've showed you right now is 50, 35, and then distribution frequency pays monthly. If we look at this is how much they've paid distribution history, and I'm going to show you this history. Look, at one point they pay $4. So imagine if that month you had a bunch of shares, but that's a lot of money. Now let's go to the fun part. Now I want to show you this. This is the spreadsheet that I always make to show exactly how much you're going to invest and how much you will generate from your investment. So average since inception. So what I did, of course, I'm doing the since they paid, because they came in January, so they did pay 4 times so far, because of course we are in April right now. I mean, we are in May, but they pay end of May. They're going to pay another one. But so far, you see the first payment was 31st of January, it was 133, and then in February they pay 181. In March they pay the most, it was 413, and then in the last payment that they did pay in April 30th, so maybe 2 weeks ago, they did pay about $2.05. Now, of course, we're waiting for May, which is going to be end of May, so 15 more days. They're going to pay May distribution. But for now, we just calculate what we have right now. So they've paid 4 times. If we average 4 times incomes, I mean, if you receive from beginning, you are getting $2.33. YBTC, that's the ticker symbol, of course. And then the current price is 50.30. And then the current distribution right now is the last one they pay was $2.05. And that equates to about 49% annual yield. And if you go with the average, is 233. So that's 55 point. So it round up to 56%. 56% annual distribution yield. So that's a huge, right? And if we go to how much you can invest and retire, so if you invest 100,000, or at that price of $50, you're going to get monthly income of $4,072, and then you're going to get annual income of $48,868. And then if you invest 150, you're going to get 2,982 shares, and then that will give you monthly income of 6,109, and it's going to be 73,303. So tell me, it does not, like most places, literally, I mean, unless you live in New York City or Los Angeles or maybe San Francisco, but if you live in other places in continental United States, I mean, you will be able to retire with only 73,000. Maybe the other place is very expensive, Hawaii or something like that. Now, if we go to average though, it's even more. Remember, we did average, meaning you take all the income that you receive from beginning. If you were to, because you're getting $4 here and then the other, in reality, when you're retiring, you're gonna go with the average, because sometimes, of course, they pay $4, sometimes they pay $2, sometimes they pay $1. So if you average all together, guess what? You're gonna get, with the same amount of money invested, you're gonna get the same, of course, amount of shares, but the income will be more. So now, instead of 48 we've received there, now you're gonna get 49. Now you're gonna get 100,000. You're gonna get 55,586. With 150, you're gonna get 83,380. So by there, I can tell you, just on reference, a lot of medium income, they only get $50. 50,000. So if you getting this only from investing 150, that's a huge amount of money, man. 80,000, you can just, quit your job today, So this is just a guidance on how you can invest money on this type of ETF, which is this one round hill Bitcoin ETF and cover call strategy. I mean, I'm not saying you should go and buy this one, just a disclaimer, but I'm just showing you how you can actually use this one with the current math. This is a real math, guys. It's not someone made a comment that's a video I made. This is not like a fantasy. This is a reality, because this is how much they've paid. Are they going to pay these dividends forever? That's to be seen. We don't know about that, right? Again, if it's your first time, just make sure you subscribe, and so you don't miss this type of update, so you know exactly how much you should invest to generate money so you can retire today. And if you like this content, again, give me a like. Catch you on next one. Bye bye.